Okay, we come to part 4 of the walkthrough for the Account Explorer. So far, we've got the table being filled with the date, the narrative, the in, the out, and we can see money in and money out in the two different columns and the balance carried forward. We've also got this search facility, which allows us to search through all of our transactions and find the ones that match. The next part of the specification is allowing rows to be selected. So the idea here is that the user can click on particular items in the main account and see a running total of how many items are selected and what their total is. So let's take a look at how we might do that. What I want is to allow people to click on any of these things, and when they click on it, we want to see it highlighted. And there's some CSS to support us in this. So I'm looking for the CSS. So here's the CSS file, and I've already put in place some details. What it relies on is this class picked. So this rule here is saying that if I've got an item in the transaction table and the row has got class picked, then the first child will have background color gray and foreground color white, which is what's happening here. You can see background color gray, foreground color white. No, I don't want that, I want the CSS. Here it is. There's another rule there, I'm sure, that involves dot picked. Can't see it right now, but I think we've got rows highlighted. Yeah, that's in bold. Can you see that's in bold there? So TR picked the TD. If TR is picked, then everything is in bold for that particular row. So what I've got to do is assign the class picked to the row on which you clicked. Now, one of the weird things about HTML is that in a table, the TR node itself isn't visible. The TR node isn't something you can click on. You can only click on a TD. You can't click on a TR. So what I need to do is put in a click event on TDs that are in the transactions table. Let's have a go at that. So I put this anywhere inside the ready function. So all of these things, all of these different components are in the ready function. Perhaps I should put in some comments along here. This is the search feature. And now we've got the select feature. So this is the bit that I am implementing right now. So the select feature relies on me clicking on any transactions element. And as I said, it's the TR we really want, but you can't put a click event on a TR. It's only the TD that we can put the click event on. So I introduce click and then function, and this is where the business happens. So let's just see that happening. I'm going to say console.log, and I want to do $this, just to check that it's working. Save that and reload, and press F12 to bring the console up, just the console. And when I click on a TD, nothing happens. Let me control, still nothing's happening. I've made this mistake before. It's transactions. Let's reload. That's more like it. So you can see when I click on that, it's giving me the list. It's giving me this, and it's a TD element. But what I'm really interested in is not the TD, it's the TR containing it. So I have to navigate from $this up to the parent. There's a number of ways of doing it. And one way is to say $this, which is the node that I clicked on, and then I can say parent. And that will find the parent node. What I sometimes do is parents and say TR. So that says search all the ancestors of the node that got clicked on until you get to a TR, or all of the TRs that is in your parent tree. Let's save that and reload. And now I'm getting these TR nodes. Right, so that's the TR that I want. And the job I want to do, having found that one, I'm going to ditch the console stuff now. I don't need the console. I've got the element I want. So $this, .parents, and what I want to do is toggle the class picked, I think it was. So toggle class picked. That means you click it once, it puts it on. You click it twice, it takes it off. Click on that one, and that's been toggled on. Click on that one, that's toggled on. Click on this one again, and it's toggled off. So that's nice. I can select the elements I want, and I can deselect. I've got control over that. I also want a calculation to happen after that click. So having done the toggling, let's find a list of everything that's been selected. And so I can say var plist, that's the picked items, is going to be $. Let's limit it to the transactions table. And it's any row that has got class picked. So that should find me all of the items. So that's transactions is the parent, and any child or ancestor of that has got the picked thing, that must be a TR. Let's just be absolutely sure. Any row that has been picked is going to be in that list. And what I can do is run over that list for var I equals 0, I is less than plist dot length, and then I plus plus. So that's all the items. Let's take it slowly, console.log, and I'm interested in plist I. So plist I, that's the ith element of the list that we made up, and then the dollar function turns that DOM element into a jQuery style element. Let's save that and reload, and we're relying on the log, so I click on 1 and I get 1 printed out. And that time I got 2 printed out, and this time I should get 3 printed out. That's great. Okay, I want a bit more than that. So that is the plist, and I also want the amount. So what I'm looking for is TD, and I in particular want the nth child. Okay, which one do I want? The nth child. I think that's the first child, that's the second child, that's the third child, that's the fourth child. Let's go for the number 4. So that should give me the fourth thing, the fourth TD, in the context of plist. So this format says find me the TD that is the fourth child, but limit your search to the thing that we're on. I'm not sure if I have to put this thing in $. I think it'll probably work without putting this thing in $. So my worry is that maybe I should put dollar brackets around that. But I'm going to try, see if I can get away without doing that. Reload and pick that one. That's looking good. And that's 2 of them. Excellent. I may even be able to get the text out of that, but probably not. That's the list that I'm interested in. No, it's not. Let me just put in here. I can put in .text, and that will give me the contents that I'm interested in. Save that, reload. So that didn't work. I spelled text wrong. Save and reload. Okay, that's the 900. This one should be 100. So I've got the 900 and the 100 being printed. I've got the 900, the 100, and the 80 being printed. So these values here, I can just add them up. So if I want to know the total, let's have an accumulating variable. Total will start out at 0. And each time I go around, I don't want to console log it. I want to add into that total. Tot plus equals the text value of the fourth child of the TD. That's the thing. Save that, reload. Let's click on 1, transfer. Oh, we've got to do something. We've got to print it out. Console.log that total that I just calculated. Save that, reload. Oh, that's a bit weird. That's even weirder. And that's super weird. I don't know if you can see what it's doing, but it's adding these things as strings. I want to add them as integers. And parseInt is the right way to do that. So parseInt, take that number, take that string, turn it into a number using parseInt. Let's reload again. So that's 900, and that's 1,500. That's looking good. So what I want is that value to show up in your face here somewhere. So I want this number, this total, this running total, to be put up there instead of console logging it. No one's ever going to look at the console, let's face it. Ooh, how am I going to do that? Okay, I'll see if it may be that I've thought of this already and I've got something in my HTML. There we go. Doesn't look like it. Let's make up a div here. So div id equals in your face. Okay, so this is the unignorable div slash div. Okay, so there's the in your face div. Let's make it really in your face using some CSS. So if you want something to be completely unignorable, then we'll make up a rule. If it is in your face, all right, let's position it absolute. Okay, and let's say the left is 10 pixels and the top is 10 pixels, and let's make its width is going to be 15x, and its height is going to be 5x, and the background color, a really in-your-face color is yellow, and a really in-your-face border is solid, not soiled, solid and dotted and thick. Save that. Okay. All right, there's your in-your-face thing. I don't see the border. Don't know why that didn't work. Okay, so I've got my in-your-face thing there. Where's the CSS? Let's take it out a bit further to the right. Let's go 50 out. Nah, 10ex, not 10 pixels. Okay, so having calculated the total here, I then want to put that in your face. So I say $. Okay, dot text. And we'll just put in the string total value, close quotes, plus tot. And let's put in a pound sign. Splendid. Save. Reload. Okay. Okay. It's kind of doing what I want. My pound sign didn't work very well. That's usually caused by the character encoding. Let's check the character encoding. More tools. Looking for character encoding. Nope. Downloads. Settings. I'm going to pause while I look for this. Okay, let's check on character encodings. First of all, my editor. See what the settings say here. Transfer. I'm looking for character encoding. Nah. Let's, in the HTML, we'll set the character encoding there. So HTML here. Head. Okay, so a meta tag should do this. If I say meta char set equals UTF-8. I'm going to just do a quick check. Meta tag char set. Here we go, MDN. That's the place I go to for this kind of stuff usually. Nothing wrong with W3 schools, but MDN is slightly better. Meta tags, find char set. UTF-8. That's what they're encouraging us to use. Is that with a minus? UTF-8. That looks good. UTF-8 they had in capitals. I'm sure it'll work. Let's reload. Nah, still not working. Okay, can't figure out the char sets. What I'm going to do is replace this with ampersand pound. Oh, not pond, pound. Save that, reload, click on this, and the ampersand pound is coming through. That's not what I want. If I change this text to HTML, that's slightly more dangerous, but it should mean that this gets interpreted properly. So save that and reload, and now the pound is coming through, and I'm getting the total value in there. That's pretty ghastly, but we're not about making things pretty. I could perhaps try and put this thing on the same level, put it over here as it looks in this case. Go on then. All right, so what I want to do is to move this thing down to find the right position where I just clicked. Let's have a go at that. So I want to know where the user just clicked, and when I do that, I'm going to change this location to that height. Let's see if we can figure out where the user clicked. Console.log, and I want to know $this, and I want to know its position. I'm pretty sure position is the right way to do that. Let's save that and reload. So when I click here in the console, it's telling me where the top and the left is. So that top is 164. That's the value I'm looking for. So I'm going to change $this guy here. I want to change the CSS property, and the CSS property I want to change is top. I want its value to be this thing here, dot top. Okay, so it's the top property of the position of that. I'm going to make that thing move up and down. If I do that, then it'll stomp all over this value here, so I want this much further out to the right. So I'm going to change the left value of that. I'm going to change that in CSS. So where's the CSS? That's not the CSS. That's got to be the CSS. So I set the width, the height there. Instead of 15, let's go 25. Let's make the width a little bit bigger so that it doesn't wrap when I've got a number with thousands in. Reload. Oh, that's horrible. What did I do wrong? I set the height. Didn't want the height set like that. I wanted to set the width to be a bit bigger, 25. And the left. Now I'm going crazy. Change that to 25, set the width to a bit more than what it was. Can't remember what it was. 25, let's just see what it looks like. Reload. Okay, I still want it further out. This is part of the reason why we let designers do this kind of stuff. We don't let programmers mess with this sort of thing usually. Save and reload. Okay, there it is there. It could still go out further, but I've lost interest. There's 100, there's 200, there's 300. It's not in the right position. It's not been centered. Lots wrong with it. But because it's all in CSS, a designer can come along and make this a lot prettier. They can put in rounded corners. They can change that color yellow. They can move it over slightly to the right. Calculating exactly where it should be would be better than trial and error. But to be honest, I've lost interest. Let's take a look. Are we finished? Looks like that's all done. Next thing is totals in categories. Bank transfer. I think I'm going to leave that as an exercise to the student. We have got the main parts of this functionality working. If I include a negative number here, if I include that one there, so that's a plus 3,000, all of these values were negative I'm collecting so far. If I click on that one, it should really subtract, and you see it's gone bad because what's happened was it picked up the value in that fourth column, which was blank, and it's interpreted that as not a number. So that's kind of broken. Maybe we should fix that. Let's fix that. So this is me looping over all the selected items, and in some cases this thing is blank. So if that's blank, we should use the third child and we should make it negative. That's a test we can do. Let's take this thing here. So that's the value. Copy. So we can do a test on that. We can say if this thing here equals the empty string, we'll do one thing, otherwise we'll do something else. So the otherwise is okay. It's adding in the total. If it's the other way around, that what we really want to do is tot minus equals element number 3. Copy that, paste it there, and it's item 3 that we want, and we are subtracting it instead of adding it. Well, strictly speaking, we should do this the other way around. That's a positive amount, and that's a negative amount. Save that, reload, click on that. You can see it's a negative value showing up now, and it's adding them all up. And if I click this positive amount, then it all goes positive. I don't know if I like it like that or the other way around. I don't really see what we can do to fix that problem though. So it's a negative amount there. Kind of makes sense. This is more or less what I wanted. What I had in mind was that I should be able to go through and select all the items. So if I'm worrying about my spending on a particular item, I'm worrying about my transfers, for example, I can select them all and I can see what the total value is of all the transfers that I'm doing. I can pick them out. Yeah, that's the kind of thing I had in mind. So I think we've got everything working there. I kind of would like this to go away when we get to 0. So there's nothing selected, and so I want this to disappear. We can do that. So here's the picked, and I could say, nope, it's the plist. The plist, so if plist.length equals 0, what do we do? So if there's nothing been picked, then let's hide it. So the thing, that in your face thing, hash in your face, is going to get hid, and we might as well quit because there's nothing else to be done, so we'll return. Now if sometimes I'm hiding it, then I really need to also show it if it turns out that's not the case. So I can say this thing here, copy and paste, so if it's not empty then we'll show it. Let's reload, select one item and it's there, select a second item, it's there, take away, and it disappears. It's not in my face anymore. And I suppose I really should have that thing not showing up to start with. There's no point in having it there. Okay, copy this, and I want to do that. I want to hide it on ready, so that way it should never show up. So it's not there. As soon as I click on something, it appears, and when I've got nothing selected, it disappears. I think that's enough gilding the lily. I've really had enough of this thing now. Let's quit the video. That was the end. That was the last part. I'm not going to do a part 5. We've got the Account Explorer working. And yeah, everything's hunky, everything's dory.